been dreaming, you've been praying, you've been showing up with the vision boards, affirmation, and big declarations, but deep down, something isn't clicking. You're working harder than ever, and the results don't reflect your effort. I want to be honest with you today. The reason your vision hasn't manifested is not because you're lazy. It is not because you're unworthy. And it is not because your time hasn't come. It's because you've been building without a blueprint. A dream with no structure is just anxiety in disguise. You're not stuck, you're just building blindfolded. And you may ask yourself, well, how do you know? Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Self Love Sunday. My name is Tarnisha Mosas. I am your host of Self Love Sundays with Sass, where we come every single Sunday to talk about all the ways in which you can better your best as your vision strategist coach. And listen, there's a part no one tells you, right? Desire without design leads to burnout. I've seen so many people burnt out, exhausted lately, like in full blown tears. And it's because consistency without clarity builds confusion. It's like we're doing a bunch of things, but none of it's in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing this season to get to the manifestation and or the end goal and or the vision, whatever you want to call that, right? And so you've been taught to hustle and grind, but no one taught you to build, and also no one taught you to rest. I was reading something recently, and rest isn't something, a byproduct of, after you've been through the war, now you rest. No. How about rest is a weapon in the middle of the war, and it's winning the small battles, and you need to rest. I get it. I heard the Steve Harvey things too, sleeping and, don't sleep no more than 2 and 3 hours, whatever. Here's the thing. In some seasons that may work, but it's not going to work in every season. You have to know what season you are in, and you have to be clear about it. Okay. And so I want to break this myth. A vision board is not a strategy. Being inspired is not being aligned, right? Scripting your day means nothing if your life has no foundation. And so you keep calling it faith, but it's actually avoidance dressed up in positivity. And what do I mean by that? It's like, I know it's going to come, God, provides all my needs. And all of that is very, very true. But you're forgetting the part that fakes faith without works is dead. And a part of that work is building a clear strategy. Also getting very clear on what it is that you want. Things are happening all around you, and a bunch of different things are coming at you in a bunch of different angles, and it's because you are not very clear. Most of you are not doing the things that you desire to do. You're doing the things of what you were told or programmed to think you should do. And so that leads to uncertainty and a bunch of anxiety, right? And listen to me. I am a faith girl, okay? I am Jesus all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. And if you are, that means that you understand that there is a strategy in the blueprint, okay? Read Proverbs, all right? And again, when I talk about the foundation, please understand I'm not here to tell you who to believe in. I'm just here to tell you that in order to do this thing called life, okay, a firm foundation is what you need, whether you're trying to build in your business, whether you're trying to build in your career, whether you're trying to find your career, or whether you're just trying to get in alignment with who you really are. Okay. And this isn't about more goals. I want to be clear about that. It's about engineering your life like it deserves structure, because it does. I love myself enough to wake up and have a structured day, to have, I know what I'm doing in particular hours, so I don't waste my 24 hours. We all get 24 hours. The person who is maximizing their 24 hours is probably the person that you're looking up to, but you don't want to sit and master your 24 hours. You don't want to build your schedule. You don't want to build your budget. You don't want to build the strategy. And then you wonder why you feel anxiety and burnt out. And you don't want to hire the coach. You're so afraid that someone's trying to scam you. The biggest scam is your mindset. I'm sorry. I have to be the one to tell you that today, but it's true. Okay. And so I want to give you a vision strategy method, right? And this is something that I have used. So again, when I come here and I talk about the things that I've used to help me be successful in areas of my life, and I want to share them with you. This is at the point in the video where you have to ask yourself, am I willing to listen, to be coachable, to be open? And what that means is it's not doing everything that someone tells you to do. It's not that. It's saying, okay, you know what, I can apply this to my life and I'm going to do that. The person who is not coachable and teachable is the very person that looks at these videos, they come, they know they need something different, they want to learn something new. They're complaining a lot, but as soon as they hear something, it's like, oh, I heard that before. Okay, well, just because you heard it, did you apply it? Did it work? Use it as a science experiment then. And or maybe if you've heard it 10 times, maybe it's trying to tell you I should listen on the 11th and actually do something with it. Okay? So number one is the foundation. Who are you building as? Again, this isn't about gold, this is about your identity. If your habits contradict your beliefs, your blueprint fails. So if you're doing something that isn't aligned with your character, isn't aligned with who you truly are, it's going to fail. And it's not to say that you shouldn't grow different characteristics, right? There was a time, and I tell the story all the time. It's actually in my book, Finding Your Way, 7 Ways to Love and Heal Yourself, where I talked about the fact that there was a time in my life where I wasn't as honest. I wasn't leading with integrity. I was manipulative. I didn't know any better. I was young, and it's young. First of all, I want to be clear. Age is not an excuse, but it was what it was, right? And I was easily, I would say, influenced, because I don't believe that you can be manipulated. I believe that you have to give people permission to manipulate you, right? So everything that I did wasn't working, because number one, my foundation was all cracked. I didn't have a firm belief system. I didn't have firm character traits about myself. So I had to grow that. Right. So when we talk about the foundation, who are you building as? If you're building as someone who lacks integrity, who lacks consistency, who lacks discipline, then guess what? That's the reason why things are not manifesting for you. You don't have a firm blueprint, and it cannot contradict what you believe. And most of you don't believe in yourself, and you're doing things, and then you're looking for evidence to prove that what you really believe is right about yourself. And this is why I tell people all the time, coaching and therapy saved my life. I had to start to tap into that so I could start to believe something different, and therefore my business and things are growing. Okay. Second, framework. What systems support your vision? Where do you work from? Who's in your proximity? You have to get around people who are on the trajectory of which you are going. I'm telling you right now, if you're trying to build anything and you're around people who are not building anything, it's not going to work. For example, I have people, I have been in management now. I think I've told this story for well over 18 years. I've been in corporate America for 28 years. I can retire after I turn 50, right? And so when I talk about business and entrepreneurship around people who are dedicated to being employees and not employers, they don't get it. It's like, why are you doing that? Why are you going home and doing that? Girl, go home and relax. Live off this pension. Build this. Build your 401k. And it's not to say that they're wrong. They're not. And it's okay that if you want to be an employee, I don't think anything's wrong with that. Everybody's not cut out for entrepreneurship. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to tell you, it has been the hardest thing that I ever had to do, because I had to flip the switch in my mind to know that, hey, this is your thing, right? Nobody's giving you, because AT&T or Verizon, or wherever you go to, wherever you work at, right? They give you a blueprint. Okay. The warehouse job, they tell you what to do. Well, when it's yours, you have to build it from the ground up. So it's very different. And then you have to ask yourself, do your days reflect the direction of what you want to go in? So from the time that you get up in the morning to the time that you go to bed at night, what does your day and what does your bank account say that you're moving towards? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you pull my financials, aka my bank statement, you will see that I'm so aligned with my business. paying for ads. I pay a coach who actually works in my business, right? I invest back into my business. I invest back into me. Listen, just recently, and I know this is going to sound crazy to some people, I just bought a book that was $100. And I know that sounds crazy. However, to me, because I invest in myself, mind, body, spirit, that doesn't seem foreign to me. Okay, it's a book that I want. It's a book that's going to help me with my mindset, help me frame how I really want to grow in this season of my life, because it's a very different season. Number one, I'm about to turn 50. Number two, I'm dealing with menopause. I'm in a very different season of my life. Okay, and so I buy books. I'm not just an author, because just these are my books and my products behind me. I'm not just an author, but I'm also somebody who invests in other authors, right? And I do believe that success leaves clues, and this was a book that somebody who I admire and actually look up to in the way that they handle their business, they had it. And so I'm like, hey, listen, I want to grow that. So you have to ask yourself your framework: what supports your vision? Where do you work from? What is the environment like, right? You cannot build in chaos. I'm gonna tell you right now, my office is not filled with clutter. You cannot create in clutter. Okay, you can't see my office is all around me, but it's a nice space. It's actually in I have a 3-story townhouse, so it's actually on the first level, and I've made it so it's comfortable. And in that comfort, because this is where I build, this is where I come and talk to you from, this is where I coach from. So I make sure that I work from a place of peace. I'm telling you, it makes the difference. Who's in your proximity? Who is around you? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are they talking about? If they're talking about people and not talking about business, or talking about handling their business, or talking about things that are going to help you grow, then guess what? You're around the wrong environment. You've heard this many times before. And I'm not the person to tell you to walk away from friendships. I don't believe in that. I believe that as you level up, things will just start to dissipate and fall away. You don't have to get on social media and announce, I'm not speaking to this person, or I'm not talking to this person. There's so much toxicity on social media. This is, this wave of people, I'm not, gonna not talk to my parents anymore. I'm disowned. All this craziness. Here's the thing that I'm gonna tell you. When you know that a person is truly serious about making moves and not just about putting things out there to gain sympathy, it's done in the quietness. I promise you. I promise you, the things that you move on in silence, those are the deadly moves. And I had to learn that. Before, it was a place where I would always tell everybody what I was doing before I did it. And then when I didn't do it most of the time, because again, remember I told you I wasn't leading with integrity. I talked about this in the beginning, right? And so it would be always like, okay, here she go again. It was when I got quiet. When I got quiet, and I just got busy. And then I popped out with my first book, right? And then I got quiet again. And I popped out with my second one. And then I popped out with my accountability journal. And then I popped out with my journal deck card. And then I popped out with my most recent book, which is Designed to Win. That's when I got serious. I got quiet and I got busy. And what did it take, right? I had to work on myself, and I had to get around like-minded individuals. And so I joined communities, right? And it was one of the reasons why I built my own community. It's one of the reasons why I have accountability community, because I understand the value of that. I see how it can change your life, okay? And so that was number 2, frameworks, right? What systems support your vision? Number 3, flow. What beliefs run in the background? Ooh. Are you building in alignment or urgency? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you're building with your hair on fire, all you're doing is burning yourself up. If you're building with your hair on fire, all you're doing is burning yourself up. You cannot move with this hurry, hurry, hurry all the time. Now, let me tell you something. Do I believe that success loves speed? Absolutely. But there's a strategy to that speed. There's a strategy to it, so you're not burnt out, so you're not overwhelmed, and it's like, I got to do it, I got to do it, I got to do it. That's why the best time to build actually is when you are in a peaceful, positive place. Most people, when that happens, they go and slack off and want to go lay by the beach, right? I understand that no matter what, winter is coming. No matter what, winter is coming. So I build in the spring and in the summer when it feels beautiful. And in the fall, when the leaves start to fall off, that means things are about to get a little bit hectic, right? I'm already planted. I don't feel that sense of, oh my God. And I did that before. This is why I'm telling you. When I started to build an alignment with where I was in the season, things started to change and things started to shift. I have never had more people sign up to do my challenges and to do my fasting more than ever. But it's because I changed, I had a shift within me. Okay. And I understood that money was a byproduct of me being consistent and diligent and disciplined and having a consistent calendar and schedule about myself. And I also understood that money was a byproduct of me being in alignment to what I'm supposed to do in this season. And are you operating from peace or performance? Now, let me tell you something right now. That right there, I promise you, I could run around this room. So many, you cannot do this for performance. You can't try to put on for the city and put on for social media. I'm gonna tell you right now, it was a very, very valuable lesson. Peace is more important than me trying to perform or put on for somebody to make it look like I have something or going to be something or do something. I don't even have the energy for that anymore. And let me just be clear with you. I understand it. I understand operating from that space because I was in it. But this is what I understood. I'm in my purpose. And so when I'm in my purpose, this is about operating from a place of alignment, from a place of peace, from a place of consistency, from a place of clarity, from a place of, I know that it's coming. I know that everything that I envision is coming. So if I already know that, chill out. And I have to say it to myself sometimes. I have to breathe. Listen, you cannot download a vision from God and then try to execute it with systems built from fear. You can't do it. And when you're operating out of urgency, when you're operating out of, oh my God, the money's not coming and this is not happening and I'm not good enough and I'm never going to be enough and there's never enough. And, I don't know if I'm going to do it and I can't do it. I'm never going to win. It's never going to be me. You cannot operate. You cannot execute from there. This is why I'm coming to you saying you have to get yourself, find a coach that you trust. Find a therapist that you can work with. Find a community that you can grow. I tell you this again, do I have all these things? Sure, but it's not about me. It's about you. You finding a place where you can trust, where you can grow. Listen, a lot of people, there's YouTube University, right? There's only but so much growing you're going to do from a free space. I'm going to tell you that. Eventually, you're going to have to start to invest in yourself. You're not investing in a coach. You're not investing in a community. You're investing in you. What you have to start doing is going to those events, putting yourself in a place in those places and spaces, and see what aligns with you. Okay, you can't do it from behind the screen all the time from a place of fear. I can't trust. The truth is, it's not about trusting the person that you're listening to. You don't trust yourself and you don't trust your judgment. You've let yourself down before. You've not been successful in certain things, and so now you're scared. And let me tell you something: scared money don't make no money. Okay. And the truth of the matter is, it's not that I don't feel fear. I want to say this for everybody who's feeling scared in this moment. It's not that I don't feel the fear. I'm scared more often than not, but I feel the fear and do it anyway. Cutting a coach a check for $20,000 was fearful for me at one stage. It really was. And then I had to listen. This is the person that's doing everything that I wanted to do. Success leaves clues. You cannot be scared. And here's the thing: I cannot fail when I'm educating myself. I need you to hear that. I can't fail when I'm educating myself. There is a lesson that I'm going to get from this. And that's what I had to say to myself. And here's the thing, and I want for all my people who have said they failed before, you're not starting over, you're starting from experience. You know what to do and what not to do. You know what you like and what you don't like. That's a difference maker. Okay? So I need you to hear that. You can't download a vision from God and try to execute it from systems built in fear. This is your moment. This is your time. And you got to own that. And so you got to listen. The vision strategy method is easy. First, foundation. Who are you building it as? framework? What systems support your vision? Last, flow. What beliefs run in the background? Okay. And so I just want to be clear, like, you're not here for hype. I don't do hype. And there's something I always say too. I'm not here for inspiration and motivation. Those are temporary and fleeting things. I'm here for transformation. You're here because in you, you know there's more. Why else would you be coming to YouTube listening to all these videos? But more won't come through motivation. It comes through mastery. Okay? So if you've been doing all the right things, but nothing is moving, it's time to stop forcing and start blueprinting. I get it. Please know that I do. That was so me. Doing all the right things in the wrong season at the wrong time. All the right things in the wrong season at the wrong time. But you got to stop forcing and start building a blueprint. You don't need another planner. God, Lord. No. And maybe for those of you who've been going to webinar from the world, you don't need another webinar. You need a system, a strategy, I'm sorry, that honors your assignment. How about that? And that's what we're doing here. We are building a strategy that honors your assignment. If this message just put language to something you've been feeling, don't keep it for yourself. Please help me to grow my YouTube channel. Please like, share, subscribe, because we are building lives that are designed to win, not drift. And that's exactly why I wrote my book. And that's not a plug and play for you to purchase my book. However, and I built a system to help people design their life to win. You know, you've been praying, you've been planning, and you've been showing up, but your vision, still hasn't manifested. I'm telling you, this video, if you watch it over and over again, it's going to start to unearth the truth, right? Because the truth is you don't need any more motivation. You know what? We can do rah rah all day, every day, and twice on this Sunday. But the truth is you need a blueprint. You need your strategy. You get to have more clarity. It's time to stop doing all the things and start looking at what's in alignment for you this season. And if you are ready to step into alignment, just put into the comments, I am going to be working in alignment. I know that's a lot. I am going to be working in alignment. Why? Because this season calls for it. What you did last year is not going to work this year. It's not the same season. What you did in 2019 is not going to work this year. It's not the same season. How you loved your spouse in 2000 is not working because it's a new season. And 9 times out of 10, you're a new person. It's the same thing in every area of your life. Build your foundation. I'm not here to tell you the God that you should serve. I'm just here to tell you that a foundation in your faith is going to help you get through this thing called life. Get your strategy together. Get your schedule together. Get your money together. You want to know what you love? Look at what you spend your money on. I'm telling you, it doesn't lie. You know what they say, men lie, women die, but numbers don't. What does your number say about you? What does your number say about you? That's my question for you today. And I hope you have the most amazing, amazing Sunday. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, subscribe. If you want to know more about me and my community, www.mosas.com. I hope to see you. I'm actually doing a fast, and we have our kickoff call April 12th. If you want to join us, on our 5-day fast to reset and renew before Easter Sunday, I'm going to have the link in this video for you to register, because again, there's bots everywhere, and I don't do bots, I do people. So you have to register and show up to the kickoff calls, because we're going to talk about what the fast is about, how we're going to do it, and then we'll have the fast from April 14th through 18th, which we're in on Good Friday, and then we'll have a celebration call the 19th, and then it's Easter Sunday. So thank you so much for joining me this week, and I hope you have an amazing week, and I hope you join me on this fast, the 5-day reset and renew. Have a great Sunday, y'all. Bye now.